Very fun. Welcome to the Tuesday, December 9th, regular meeting of the City Council. And we're missing Ms. Rule. There you are. Okay, roll call, please. Mr. Montgomery.
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor Gilman.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lang.
Here.
Councilmember Rule.
Here.
Councilmember Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Mang.
Here.
And would you please lead us in the pledge? Thank
Yes. Honorable Mayor, Council, and community, please rise as you are able. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
you. On the agenda, one request is to just switch the orders of 14 and 15, since we have some folks here from the Arts Commission. If there's no objection to that, switching 14 and 15. Any other changes to the agenda?
Yes.
Move to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Second, any objections? Great, we'll move forward then. We have two presentations first. A service recognition award to City Attorney Matthew Summers for 10 years of service. Please come up, Mr. Summers, thank you. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, Community. Just a couple of comments. In my 10 years here, I worked with hundreds of commissioners and community members, 14 city council members, 4 city managers, and it's a really, really, really strong group. And I think you have a really strong community here, and preserving that is so critical. Just a couple of things. You know, in the time we achieved 2 certified housing elements, several first in the nation ordinances, on short-term rental enforcement, including using the strongest tools we could find, and then making more, even stronger ones, to ensure our community is preserved. 2 rights of nature and robust animal protections, also first in the nation, and I think on part of rights of nature, first in the world. Strong moves with the team Taylor and I. Taylor gets most of the credit for rights of nature. And smaller neighborhood scale community projects, working through small remodels for new residents to opening new businesses, to ensuring businesses like a Roblox can reopen after the Thomas Fire, and so many other projects, large and small, with the strength of the community behind us. I know you're in good hands with Bethany and the Ocean Winter team. They'll leave you in very, very good stead, and we don't disappear. As noted last week, Taylor and I are available for as much work as you need on the continuity and our institutional knowledge to ensure the community continues to be strong. Thank you for the opportunity to have a recognition.
We have this for you, and this is another photo opportunity. If I have a top one. I got it. Yeah.
Mayor, can I bring the council?
Please, everybody.
Okay.
Center here.
Okay. You hold. Oh. Thank you. Perfect.
So to keep our theme of the roller coaster emotional meeting going on here, we introduce our new police chief, Tyler Abbott. Please come up. Or, Sheriff.
Come on, Tyler. So I'm going to introduce your chief. Obviously, you have a very long line of chiefs, and so Matt also worked with 5 chiefs. So Dave Kenny before myself, then me, Jose, Trina, and Steve, and now you're on to another chief. For those that don't know, this was my first patrol station, was in Ojai back in 1994 when I first got to patrol with the sheriff's office. And I had the opportunity to come back as a chief. I was looking forward to it. I live on the east end of Simi Valley. It's an hour-and-a-half commute each way, but I love Ojai so much. I love the community so much that it never bothered me one bit. I looked forward to every day being here. I know that Jose and Trina and Steve all feel the same way, and I know both. Certainly, when I promoted Trina and Steve, they weren't exactly thrilled to get promoted because they loved it here so much. But they know that the organization has additional needs. You know, in Ojai, I'm not going to give you anything but the best. Tyler is that. Tyler comes with a very strong background of training, of leadership, and well over 20 years of service. This is only his second position as captain, although he's a wealth of knowledge, which means that you're going to hopefully keep him longer than a year. The goal is to have some continuity here for a while, because I know you have had a lot of turnover in the last couple of years, so I want to make sure that you have a chief who's going to keep up the good work that has been started here, that continue what Steve has been working on with the relationships with everybody in the community. You're our priority. That we cannot do our work without you. We value the relationship we have with all of you and with the community. We are not your enemy. We are here to protect everybody in this community. And there's some things that we can do. There's some things that are beyond our control, but where we can, we're going to influence and help keep us all safe. And without any further ado, Tyler, it's all yours.
Just a few quick words here. First of all, I want to thank the sheriff for trusting me. Jose Rivera has been one of my mentors. I know he absolutely loved it up here. Trina, thank you. And Steve, I'm filling big shoes, I know that. Steve and I go way back. I've been on 25 years. We were in the academy together. We met the other day, and we have very, very similar philosophies. So first off, my goal is to just continue on what he's been doing, right? I'm not here to rock the boat. I love this community. Like I said, I've been on 25 years now. I've worked here twice. This will be my third time coming back. I worked here as a deputy from 06 to a little over after 09, a little over three years. Then I came back as a sergeant. And I've seen the community change, grow like any community. But the one thing, like I told Ben when I discussed with him, I love this place up here. It's a special energy, whether you're in the city or you're in the county, the unincorporated. The people care about this community. It's really like small town Americana, and that's absolutely what I love about this place. And that's my goal, to keep it safe. I'm going to be approachable. I want to be transparent. My whole philosophy is by, with, and through the community, everything I do. I'm a family man. I've been married for 25 years, and I want to thank her, Melissa, in the back. My youngest is here, Piper. She's 11, and then I have a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old, and they're at home. And we did start over on purpose. That's always the question, right? We did, right? Mm-hmm. Always wanted 4. I was able to talk her into 3. So, but the reason why I bring that up, family's everything to me. And my philosophy with policing as a patrol deputy to a sergeant is I try to make my decisions. If that was my family being stopped, or if that was my family on a call, or if that was my family going through a mental health issue, how would I want them to be treated, right? With compassion and love and patience. Sometimes, unfortunately, we have to arrest people and take them to jail. And I'm not afraid to do that, and my deputies aren't either, right? But we know in this modern time, arrests aren't the solution for everything, right? So we're going to look at some creative options. We're going to solve problems when we can, and sometimes we have to take people to jail, right? And that's just going to be it, because I want to keep this community safe. Having said that, I'm very, very excited. I'm ready to be a good partner for you all and work with you. That's what I look at it. We're a team. And I say that to the community, we're a team, right? So I'm going to be very busy the first couple months. I'm going to try to get out there, all the businesses, be approachable. I like talking to people. I like meeting people. So please come up and talk, say hi, and share your concerns with me. And I look forward to the future and working with you all. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right.
Then we'll get the council up here too. Come on.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
The council up here.
Oh, it's a reunion.
Who knew it was going to be so photo opportunity?
Heading towards the middle. Yeah. Face this way, you face that way.
Your face in there. There we go.
Here, can I bring one with you? Get on in there. Get on in there. Congratulations.
Whatever you need, we're here to support right
I would have worn my best dress if I'd known.
Okay. All of us are here to support Tyler and you. Whatever you need, we're here to support him. So we want you to be successful. We want him to be successful.
Likewise.
Yeah, likewise.
So,
We're here for you too, man.
I appreciate you guys. Good seeing you again.
too.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, General, got it. Thanks. Please, go ahead.
I just wanted to give a huge thank you to our former city attorney, Matt Summers, and I didn't get a chance to thank you for all of your service and for holding the institutional memory of our city and all that we've accomplished and who we are. I know you're going to carry that with you, and I look forward to finding new ways to work together. Thank you. And also thank you so much to Chief Jenkins as well. It's a sad night of goodbyes. Two greats for this
Yes.
community.
Yeah.
So really, it's you've left an indelible mark here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I just want to say to Matt, one of the best things that I've ever done was the elephant's right to liberty, and you were instrumental and with us on that 110%, and I can't thank you enough. That is something that is beyond words for me, so thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, thanks. All right. Wow, what a meeting. Okay, we'll move on to commission reports.
Yes, Mayor, we do have the Chair of the Arts Commission,
Yes,
Smitty
wonderful.
West, here to provide
Thank
a
you.
report.
Yep.
Hooray, hooray. This is just a commissioner report, which is really quick, but tonight we have an agenda item number 15, so we look forward, and we have some people here from the arts community. I think we'll make public comments at that time. But I just wanted to say happy holidays and thank you guys. December's one of the busiest times, especially for the performing artists in this community. So I hope you guys are taking in what you can from our art organizations here in the Valley. Last week we had the 40 girls from Croatia, a little choir came, and we took them to 8 different schools and they did a concert Thursday night. And I saw, and then the community choir did a packed holiday, 2 concerts this past weekend that I saw too. So I hope you guys take advantage of that. It's a busy time. All right. But what I wanted to report tonight, well, first, I wanted to give special thanks to all you council people to the mayor and to the manager for getting this on the calendar since I've been on the commission and applying to the commission for grants before that. We've never done it so early. So we're taking tax money or whatever, and we're getting it right back out in the community into our creative economy where it can grow instead of waiting till, June, January, February, March when arts organizations are making their plans. So thank you. There's a great holiday present and it really helps fiscal planning because most of the organizations are on our calendar fiscal year too. Next, we're heading into our we've opened up applications for commissioners. We're looking for new arts commissioners for next year as people do their service. I have 3/4 of a term left. Thank you for that. But I'm building a succession plan too. So every time we can involve people, not just straight to commission work, but in our ad hoc committees, in our mural ordinance committees. Anytime we do that, we're showing the creative economy how the people can see good government doing good things that help, things that are clean, things that don't add traffic, things that are inclusive, everything you guys know about the arts too. And then we'll head into our I want to get new commissioners in place before we go into our 5-year plan update and our strategic planning right after that. So I look forward to seeing you at item 15. Thank you.
A very quick question for you. When does your strategic planning start? When you get the commissioner?
When I get my
Okay.
commissioners.
All right, so we'll need to figure out, I'm up next, and so we're getting that prepared. I don't know who is after me, but maybe we can start
We have
working on
two that expire in May.
Right,
And we have 5 now.
right.
We're allowed to have 7. So I'm
Right.
just going to go ahead and get some,
Right.
you know, and whether
Right.
they replace people or these
Right.
people stay or not, we're going to have room for them.
We're acting fast. We're
Yes.
gonna act fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're going to have some great choices, and I'm looking for great commissioners, not, you know, just people that know art. You know, I want people that know how government works to help people. So
all right.
thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
help, because I think
Yeah.
we have you
Mm-hmm.
guys up.
Yes, we do.
soon.
This week.
Yes.
This week.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
ciao.
Wonderful. Yay. All right. Any more commissioner reports?
No, Mayor.
Wonderful. City manager's report.
With all the things going on, I'm just going to probably mention one thing, and that is that our Finance and Budget Committee is meeting this Thursday in 2 days in the council chamber at 2 p.m. So if you're interested in that, please be there, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll move to public comments. Nick Otway, please. And then Nancy Otway after that, and then Eric Ryder, please.
Yeah, Nicholas Otway. Pleasure to be here. Good to talk to you all. My only comments this evening are related to the desire to see an expanded public transportation system in Ojai. The comments I've heard most are very positive on a fellow who has been put on leave, which I would urge the city council to overcome whatever resistance they may have, either from their city manager or from yourselves, to reinstate him. It's Anthony Palacios. And the reason being is it's good for the public to feel that the elected officials of the city are interested in supporting someone who has only illustrated public energy in his work. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Nancy Otway, please. Eric Ryder, and then Bill Miley. Hello.
I wanted to thank the council and everyone responsible for restoring service on Sundays.
She's going to move your microphone down so we can hear you better.
That was a major accomplishment and important to the community. And both Nick and I are interested in an expansive trolley system, just what it would do to visitors, the traffic, that they could, and it would be valley-wide. I mean, people could go to the lake, they could go to the oil, not the oil, sorry, but because there's a need for it, and you certainly could entice people. I grew up in Santa Monica, and we had a ranch in the Ojai Valley, and so since 1957, I've been relating to this community, and you've seen it grow in wonderful ways, and you've seen traffic, and you've seen the issue of more traffic, and one way of dealing with that is entice people to park their cars and take the trolley. And so that's why I'm here. And thank you again for Sunday, because you just heard the pleading of people, and it's like they're stuck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. Eric Ryder, please. Bill Miley. And then hard for me to read, but it looks like Lisa, possibly. But anyway, we'll call that in 1 second.
Hello.
Hi.
This city has had continued money and legal problems, and they're intertwined in some ways for mysterious reasons. And the time is up, because we've had an opportunity to take positive action to mitigate both the financial and legal exposure that hang over our city, Ojai city government. And that is, the time is up on your investigation, Mr. Harvey, clearly you have found no evidence in nearly 9 months that Anthony Palacio did anything less than perform his duties for Ojai city government in an exemplary fashion. Anthony was wrongly accused at the least, and arguably was knowingly falsely accused. And ever since, there's been extensive struggles within the very department he was suspended from, with seemingly the only bolstering of the department's operations coming recently as a result of the Ojai community itself pushing back hard in response and able to somewhat address the resultant damage. It's yet another example of your actions in misalignment with your words, I would say, Mr. Harvey. Transportation is a fundamental service California cities provide for their communities. And yet, it's as if you have unilaterally decided no mas for Ojai. Yes, you say the city wants to support the local community it serves and is a central component of by helping to create jobs, by hiring locally in order to benefit locally by those new Ojai job holders, putting those wages right back into our own economy. It could not be more straightforward, could it? Yet your actions after talking the talk were to walk all the way to Fillmore and do the exact opposite. Farming the work, the trolley driver work, out to a firm there, and in so doing, putting a middleman in between all of it. Which means the cost per driver is roughly double what it would be if the drivers were hired locally, as intended by this council. This approach is wildly illogical, contrarian, and at odds with your own words. All as you speak to money issues to justify service cuts, while the biggest taxpayer, the Ojai Valley Inn, part of a multi-billion-dollar corporation, owes Ojai City hundreds of thousands of dollars that began rolling up 14 years ago, with seemingly no effort on your part to collect. Why are we actively undermining Ojai City's financial sustainability for a multi-billion-dollar corporation when on top of it all, such a large percentage of our overwhelming money obligations are a
Thank you, Mr. Ryder. Thank you. Thank you. Bill Miley, please. And then it looks like possibly Lisa Marie, but I must be misreading that email. Thank you. Great. Okay, Bill.
Hello.
Right.
This has to do with the timeline, which has extended over 8 months for former trolley supervisor Anthony Palacios. Briefly, he was placed on administrative leave earlier this year with pay, following differences of opinions and disputes between his position and city administration. I understand the issues are being looked at by the city administration before I assume a final resolution. I request your council urge the city administration to place this unresolved matter up to a higher priority. Remember, it's been over 8 months. Mr. Palacios has requested he be reappointed to his former position as trolley supervisor. Issues at dispute, as I understand, are potentially resolvable under a joint agreement. Setting a timeline resolution date seems the essence of a fair resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miley. Lisa Marie, please.
Just 1 second, Mayor, if you don't
Yes.
mind. Okay, thank you. Can I put the... Mayor, Council, I am honored to be here. I landed Ojai 13 years ago, and this city saved my soul. I am here on a matter that most people don't want to talk about, and that's missing children. Okay? And I'm going to give I'll stay right on point, but I'm going to ask for a meeting with all of you. All right. You will see over at the Rainbow Bridge, there is a poster. You'll get one of these posters, and you will see 6 questions for every parent. I'm not going to read them off to you, but these 6 questions is what keeps parents with deer in the headlights by the time they're done, right? We're at a point in our world, our nation is in a dire situation. And thank you for what you do. My son is the deputy sheriff and actually ran for sheriff. So I'm actually not a political person. I run for all the highest elected positions federally. I'll be running for governor, and I am a mommy on a mission. All right? So here's the deal. I went to each one of your businesses 3 weeks ago, handing out the 6 questions, saying that I had to become a film producer because we lack documentary films actually on children that go missing immediately. We lack the fact that on an Amber Alert that only goes off in 1 in 300 children, this isn't going to work when we have over 1,000 children missing a day. So you do remember Kylie Manley, of course. So as I went to each one of your businesses, it was just it was a knife in their heart going, how is this man who killed her gonna get out of jail? How is he going to be released? And this is what I want to meet with you about. I have the power with people that are in my world so that you can choose if you would like for him to stay in jail. It's not your choice, but if you get enough people together, they can voice this. You know, we do have the power. And if he's released, then he sees thousands of people standing up going, what is going on here? Right? I don't want to take too much more of your time. What I can say is a killer of Ojai teen, Kaylee Manley, to stay in prison for at least 5 more years. But this was in 2022. And lastly, in 2024, what number really concerns me, I'm from Idaho, by the way. I was born in California. You had 63,000 children.
I do encourage you to schedule meetings with all of us. We'll take them. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Don't forget your phone. Anything online?
Yes, Mayor, we do have 3 raised hands.
Okay.
First we'll have Deshaun, followed by Carolyn, and then Jay.
Thank you.
Desan, you now have the ability to unmute, and you can speak. Desan, you also have the ability to unmute again. I'll tell you a second time before we move on. Okay, we'll move on to Carolyn.
Okay.
Carolyn, you have the ability to unmute, and you have the floor.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
I am sitting with a friend who is sharing my screen with me. We are both senior citizens and we would both like to comment. My comments are mainly regarding the trolley service, which I use often. I don't have a car. I do walk all over town, but I am 80-something and I would really prefer to have them go every half hour. I do remember before COVID, the trolleys did go every half hour. And I think that it might be time to try having trolley A and trolley B, every half hour so that more people would ride it if it was more often. I do believe, and there would be a lot less traffic if people were more people were riding the trolley. Also, if there was the evening routes, which are trolley B routes, and I know that would require hiring more drivers, but I heard that someone, Bill Wiley, I think, saying hire local drivers. I don't know how many of the drivers are local or how many are not, but local drivers sounds like the great thing to have here. It would encourage people to be able to stay at some kind of event at the art center or something a little bit later and go back to their hotel or go back home if there were the evening trolleys running 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night like there used to be. The last time I was on the trolley, there was a whole pack of kids got on in front of the high school. They were going home. It is ridden. The trolleys are ridden by people at various times, but in a general sort of way, having that, if you miss a trolley, you only have to wait a half hour to get the next one instead of waiting a whole hour, which changes your whole plan for the day. So I think that's pretty much my comments about the trolley. And my friend who's sitting right next to me here we'll talk in a minute.
Would like to have a whole set.
Would like to have her own 3 minutes to talk. She just happens to be sharing
It's fine.
my computer with me here.
Go ahead.
And she also is a person without a car and who is a senior citizen. So go ahead.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, City Council members. First, I just want to say, Matt Summers, thank you for your excellent work with our city. Really appreciate it and have high respect for you. For numerous months, our trolley system has not been functioning up to par. I'm really, for a town of this caliber and people of this caliber, there were times when the trolley didn't even come some days. We had diminished routes, we have diminished staff. So it's so understaffed that there were times when somebody just didn't have a substitute and we didn't have service. It has improved somewhat because they have hired a few more people, but we're still not up to the 12 people that were on the budget. I think it's roughly that number, nowhere near that. And somebody told me one of the reasons is because we are not on par with other places in terms of our pay, and we don't hire people full time. So somebody cannot get benefits and they cannot get a really substantial pay to earn a living. So, other people in the city get full-time work with benefits. Why don't our trolley drivers? You need to make it really, secure for them. The other thing is, I've heard that, also our evening hours. Tonight I'm with some friends. I can't get home on the trolley because it's not running late. It used to run later and it's not now. We really need to look at the needs of our community and do better. Apparently, Anthony Palacios, who I've only heard the best things about, he said he had excellent expertise with his job. He was a manager with heart, is on some kind of a temporary layoff, and meanwhile, there's another person who is the acting supervisor. So we are paying salary for two people who, both of whom are leaders of the trolley, but Anthony apparently is an exemplary employee. And I highly urge you all to reinstate him. There is no need for two people on the payroll for a trolley director. I don't understand why he was laid off in the first place, judging from what I have been told about him. What else do I want to say? We can do a whole lot better with our trolley service, and it's a wonderful, charming thing for our community, but also it's very utilitarian. Mm-hmm. It's extremely utilitarian. Let's not overlook the needs of lower income people who just want to ride the trolley for fun, kids who are going back and forth to school. Please expand and make this trolley really a model service. I mean, we certainly can do that. We're a very capable community. Thank you. My name's Anita Hendricks. I could not get on using the regular, tablet and my phone. Neither worked. So thank you for your time.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to mention something for all of those who have mobility challenges and some of you, Anita and Carolyn and others who have spoken today, that Gold Coast Transit District, they have a mobile app and they have all kinds of programs. They have safe rides, they have access, which is paratransit, and different options for transportation in this area if anybody needs it and the trolleys aren't running. I just wanted to direct your attention to that because it's a great service.
Well, and just one additional point is that we have been meeting, it seems like almost every meeting, something about the trolley where we've improved the pay and the recruitment, and also it's in our plan to try to double the hours. So it's definitely in our high priority list, but thank you. Anybody else online?
Yes, Mayor, we have one more raised hand from Jay. Jay, you have the ability to unmute and speak.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, City Council. My name is Jay Simons. I was a trolley driver for 18 years, so I am somewhat familiar with this. And I want to specifically focus on the Anthony situation because Anthony was not the supervisor. I resigned before that, and I resigned basically because of I don't want to call it incompetence, but it was obvious to me that the city staff had no interest really supporting the trolley at that time. I know you've made great strides in that, and I'm totally supportive of that. Now, Anthony, I ran into sort of incidentally because the former transit supervisor, Drew Lurie, and I went in to speak with Carl because we were extremely concerned. It was very obvious to us that the direction that the staff was going was to ship this thing out, to not staff it appropriately. So that all happened. So we happened to run into Anthony and had a chance to talk with him. And, to me, he is a victim, I guess, of what you saw extensively in the forensic report from your consultant, that there was just so many ways in which the city was not adequately supervising, planning, whatever. And so Anthony was put into a situation where he went and he tried to do the best that he could. And he really had the best interests of the trolley in his approach. That was my opinion. It was Drew's opinion. It was pretty obvious, but that was running very much a counter against what the staff, Carl and the city manager, were implementing at the time. So I would encourage you, city council members, to not necessarily accept the standard explanations, to really dig into the detail, find out what happened with Anthony. And I think you will find that he really had the very best interests and was really really forward thinking in his support for the trolley. So I can only encourage you to do this. You've heard some of the needs for the trolley. You've done some wonderful things. We're really happy. I'm happy for that. It does my heart good having spent so many years trying to support it. But anyway, I would encourage you to look into the situation with Anthony, and I would encourage you that if it's supported, that he should be brought back and he should be put back in that position so he can do, I think, what he loves to do and will support the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Try not to clap if you can, please.
No more raised hands.
Thank you very much. Okay. Moving on, we will now go to the consent calendar, which does have many items. I don't want to pull this out off consent. I would just want to highlight it, which is, recall that we reappointing the Area Housing Authority Commissioner, that Mr. Mason is brought back. I just want to highlight that and acknowledge and thank that service. And secondly, there is the midterm vacancy for the Historic Preservation Commission, and that is Catalina Neeson, who does come to you unanimously, and the application is there in your packet. So just highlight those two and thank those folks. But does anybody want to take anything out of consent? What?
I just have a couple questions
Okay.
on item 11.
Okay.
And is it 12? And 12.
Okay.
And I have a question on the warrant, so that would be item 3.
Okay.
I believe.
I have a question on item 14.
Okay. Item 14? 13. Okay. So I'm going to read back what I'm seeing. We want to pull 3, 11, 12, and 13. Did I miss anything? Okay.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the rest of them.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Cool. You want to do a roll call on that? Do we?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Roll call. Councilmember Rule.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lang.
Yes.
Councilmember Mang.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Now, I want to take any public comment on the consent, which I do have one, which is 11, but I could do that. Actually, I should have done that beforehand. Actually, no, 11 we're going to call, and that's Mr. Miley. I'll do that in one moment, I guess. So we'll pull number 3, the warrants. And what was the question?
Yes, the question is on page 10 or attachment A3 of 7.
Okay.
There is a charge for $10,064.75 for Liebert, Cassidy, and Whitmore September 2025 internal investigation, and I'm not sure what that internal investigation was for.
Well, as you might suspect, that's a personnel matter, so I can't get into the details of what that is, but I can provide counsel with a separate briefing that's confidential.
Okay, thank you. So it was a personnel investigation.
Yes, that law firm does personnel work for the city.
Okay, great. Because it wasn't even clear that it was a law firm. So
Understood.
But yeah, thank you. Okay.
Sure.
That's all?
Yes.
Any other questions? So is the most efficient thing is to maybe go through number 3, or shall we do all the collected ones at the end? Ms. Burgess, what do you suggest?
You could do either way. I'm not sure if the vote will be the same on all 5 items. If it may be simpler to just approve
one at a
each.
time.
Let's do it.
Approve them each at a time. Yep.
I move that we approve item 3 on the consent calendar of the warrants.
I'll second it.
Okay?
Roll call.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes.
Councilmember Mang.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lang.
Yes.
Councilmember Rule.
Yes.
Motion
Thank you.
passes.
So we'll move to number 11.
Yeah, I just had a question. Oh, did we have a public comment? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
do have, thank you.
Yes.
Good public comment. Mr. Miley, please. Oh, yes, thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
This has to do with IRS Rule 457 for deferred compensation and the opportunity to double up during this year. What seems strange is the beginning starting limit for employees in the city starts at $145,000 wage and above, especially for Roth IRA contributions. And this allows increased contributions into the 457 deferred compensation program for this year. So I've read the Mission Square page, which is the one the federal government uses to process this whole thing. They're the administrators for 2026 contribution. And I did not find any limitations, high or low, for employee participation according to wage. So I'm going to state that in these comments, that it appears the 455,000 annual wage was chosen by city staff as the starting point. Looking at this July 25th city salary schedule with all of the employees, not by name, but by position, there are only 8 positions that have wages over $70 an hour, which gets you to $145,000 and above. That's working 2,080 hours total. There are 2 additional ones that are CalPERS special positions. So this is my opinion about the policy, which in summary is it should be applied to all employees receiving benefits. And if it's not, it should be withdrawn and not awarded in what I would judge to be a biased and unfair policy. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments online on that item?
No raised hands on Zoom, Mayor.
Am I understanding the question about that is because I'm looking at page 58. Oh yeah, please come up. There's see, I'm going to try to answer and I should just go to you. Go ahead.
So the $145,000, it's not a limit. The Secure Act of 2022 by the IRS established a baseline for catch-up contributions. Currently, our 457 plan, every single employee has the ability to participate to the full extent that they can. What the law did is that if we, as a body, fail to amend our plan to allow for these Roth provisions, those employees that earn over $145,000 will be prevented from taking advantage of the catch-up contributions based on age.
Mm-hmm. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Any other questions? Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to understand just generally. So I understand the 457 deferred compensation plan, but employees earning over 145,000 in 2025 will be required to designate at any age, 50 or age 60, catch-up contributions as Roth contributions starting in 2026. Do I need to know that? I mean, I don't understand that.
So every employee can contribute up to a maximum per calendar year,
Right.
just by the nature of doing it.
Right.
Once you hit age 50, you have a special opportunity to contribute more. And then when you hit age, I believe it's age 60, between age 60 and 63, there's another additional opportunity to contribute more.
And that's to catch up if you didn't contribute, or they just calling it that. You
It's
could
just a special age. Just
Preparing
by
to
the nature
retire.
of turning a certain
Okay.
age,
Right.
the government says, go ahead and throw more money in the plan if you'd like.
Okay, so it's not really a catch up. It's just
No.
it's an no cap limit. You go.
Well, there is a cap.
Okay, well, you don't need. Yeah. Okay.
So, but they also have, in addition to those two age-based categories, is they have what they call the catch-up contribution for on your final 3 years of employment. If you did not contribute the maximum, you can then basically double your contributions during your last 3 years.
Okay.
But that will continue on regardless of what this body does tonight. That particular one, if you decide not to go forward with amending our plan document, those employees that are age 50 and older and age 60 to 63 will not be able to take advantage of the additional contributions.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just had a question about allowing loans, because when I did my research, it said it's up to the employer. So I didn't see anything in the packet, like what are the guidelines? How does that work?
Well, I didn't develop the guidelines until I knew that you guys were interested in doing that. So that is a very standard provision amongst 457 plans. It's just a way for employees to be able to take money out without without incurring any penalties for early withdrawals, or having, you can't really take a withdrawal while you're still active. So this gives them some of the ability to take the withdrawal, but they're paying themselves back. There's no cost to the city for that. It's the employees draw down their own money. They pay themselves back the money that they borrowed. If they happen to separate from the city before they pay it all back, then it's considered taxable income in that calendar year that they separated. But it's a standard provision across agencies. Quite frankly, I was shocked when I got here that we didn't have this program in place, because it's a very good benefit for staff for them to take money that they've already set aside to use as they need.
Understood.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any more questions? I move to approve item 11.
Second.
Roll call, please. Thank you.
Roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Ling.
Yes.
Councilmember Meng.
Yes.
Councilmember Rule.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Thank you. Number 12, approval of MOU with Hope of Ojai. Who
Yes.
pulled that?
I'm
Oh,
happy
yes.
to answer any questions on this item.
Okay.
I had some questions.
Okay.
Let me see. I was just curious, because it says it will be for all people from Ventura County as well, so it's not just limited to Ojai. Is that correct?
So let me take a couple steps back.
Okay.
It's going to be stationed at help of Ojai. It's from the county of Ventura. It's furnished by the county of Ventura. It's operated by help of Ojai. Yes, it's open certain hours. It's run by help, but if you need a shower and you show up there, you are able to take a shower.
So it will be there like 24/7, or is there
It's
certain
not a
days
24. No. It's got very restricted hours, and help will be administering it and publishing those hours and posting them, and we'll have them posted over here too. It's only when they can staff them, and it's only under prescribed time. So it's like, I don't know off the top of my head what the days are going to be, but Jane and I have talked about it. It's not every day,
Okay.
but maybe 3 or 4 days a week. This is going to sound, we'll get in the weeds a little bit here, but we're trying to be conservative with our water use and accessibility. So you have a very short amount of time that you're able to use the shower facility. We don't have anything like this currently in or around Ojai. We do have certain churches sometimes who occasionally do offer that, but this would be just a standard thing. If you need this service, it would be available. City's contribution is going to be the water for that, and so we're going to be monitoring that closely. After a month, we're going to see what that increase is. We're going to come back and tell you what it is. We don't have a baseline right now because HELP has a very small use of water they use currently. I think you saw in the report, it's like $57 and nothing. So we're going to be watching this closely, and we're going to come back and tell you what it is.
And we're waiving the permit fee of $174.
Yes, we are. Yes,
And
we
then
are.
I was just curious because it said something about, so the people at Tent Town or whatever, they're welcome to use those
Absolutely.
showers as well.
Yes.
But then the little trailer that we pay $500 a month, is that where they're currently, the
Yes.
Tent Town people are getting their
Yes.
showers?
Yes. If they don't go other places. And this is a more sanitary and safe and permitted use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
Any other questions?
do have a
Yeah.
quick question.
Go ahead.
And just curious what happens with the wastewater.
For the shower pod, this is a CDD question, but I believe that was part of the permit. It has to be discharged into the sanitary sewer, is my understanding of how it works.
So it goes like right
Just
into the
gray water. It has to have a connection into the sanitary sewer system. Is my
Okay.
understanding.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I move that we approve item 12.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Lang.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Councilmember Rule.
Yes.
Councilmember Mang.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes. Finally, the second reading of the ordinance, item 13.
Yeah, so I asked to pull that. I just have kind of a quick question. I have an understanding that these 15 different codes, we do have to adopt those. It's mandated, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question was that there's a statement in the staff report that says, in addition to that mandatory adoption, we make amendments to the codes that are reasonable, necessary because of local climatic, geological, or topographical conditions. And I'm interested in what we've done or what we might do to look at our local conditions to see how, particularly as to climate and geological issues.
Well, one that we are doing is the flex path piece, which is included with this for tonight.
Right.
There's others that we could look at as a fire hardening is one piece that we could look at even further going beyond. The question with that, though, and it's kind of what we talked about during the first reading, and that's kind of what the building official was talking about as well, is there's a narrow opportunity by which to do that. And it's got to have very specific reasons and rationale, because really we're closing the doors for the next, in terms of updates and modifications for the next 3 years.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, because of what's coming forward tonight, if this council adopts the second reading, we're taking it to 2 commissions for their blessing as well. One is the board and the Building and Standards Commission, and the second one is the Energy Commission.
Okay. And I guess just my question was, what more can we potentially do? I guess I'm interested in what other communities are doing if they're amending to go beyond the code in particular areas. I'd like to take advantage of those that would work well for Ojai.
I can have that conversation with the building official and see what other pieces that we may not have in the puzzle of building standards that other communities have that we could potentially bring on. Again, just caution you with, they're closing the doors on what we can do into the future. So it's a very narrow opportunity to make changes.
I had the impression we barely got in this one.
We did.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity that presented itself in October, really what we brought forward in October, which really happened in August. So,
Okay.
And that's the flex path piece.
Right, of course, right.
Great.
Thank you.
But if that is the will of the council, I would ask for that to be included in the motion as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we certainly can look into that.
What's the window?
I can bring that back as well and go into a little bit more detail. That's one sentence which probably can be outlined into really more of a robust discussion.
That was really why I'm asking a question. It seemed like a provocative statement that I was interested in, and it wasn't really fleshed out in the report.
Yeah. And if it's the interest of the council to go further into that, we can certainly bring something back in the future.
Because I guess I'm happy to have you look at it in some reasonable way. I guess I would say it sounds a lot like our climate resiliency goal, that it would morph into one of those goals. So then it sounds like a goal conversation. Yeah.
Potentially, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd move to adopt item 13 with the addition that we get a report back within the time frame that it's permitted to, whether there's opportunities to amend to address those specific
Certainly.
issues, climate, geology, and topography.
I mean, I don't disagree, but this is really ambiguous. Not hearing timelines. I'm hearing very short window. I don't know exactly what we're asking for. I don't have an idea of when it's going to come back. I don't know how full our agendas are already. I don't know if, basically we try not to insert relatively complicated, it could be relatively complicated or not, but try to insert these kinds of things into agendas sort of, we're trying to have some structure to items that when they come up and how they come up. So I don't know what timeline you're speaking of when you say narrow window. I don't know what it entails to ask the building inspector what is being done in other communities around exactly what. So this to me seems incredibly vague, and I don't have a sense of what we're really expecting back or asking you to do. Do you have a sense of what we're asking you to do?
What I was getting a sense of was basically bringing a menu of potential options out there that fit that narrow piece. I mean, there's gonna be a lot that's just going to go beyond it, and it's not even worth considering at this point.
And
it's just going to sit on the bench until further
if it could be tailored, if you would be willing to tailor to say what in your learning, which could be sort of feasible and time bound and a reasonable request, and nothing beyond that at this stage.
I mean, would it go into the ordinance and it'd have to have a first and second reading? And is it,
if that's what we're talking about, then yes.
And is it timeline specific? In other words, are we saying that, March 1st, 2026 is the deadline by which the state isn't going to allow, and this is what I think I'm hearing, the state's not going to allow the cities to add new stuff, right?
Correct.
Because that's why we moved so quickly on the flex patch, which was months and months and months ago.
It does have the potential to wrangle our whole agenda.
That's a significant change, though. That's a significant change. So that's an example of a significant change to the code that needs to be done within the time frame by which we've met. So basically before the end of this year.
Before the end of this year?
Yes.
So we're talking 3 weeks?
Yeah, but that's a significant change. If we're looking at small incremental changes that fit the mold by which that one sentence covers, if there's none, then guess what? I'm going to come back and say, look, over the next 3 years, sorry, doors closed on the things that we're looking at here.
So you're going to vet beforehand whether they're large or whether they're small, because there's no point in bringing back large.
Correct.
At this particular time. But if they're small.
If they're small and the building official feels comfortable with it, then we bring it forward.
And there's no timeline on that because it's small.
If it's the council's will, I could bring it back within the first or second quarter of next year.
And we would have time to evaluate and implement.
You can talk. Yes. You can
Okay,
get
I mean,
tired.
then if it's doable, if it's feasible, and now that I kind of understand.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying
Why
because
not?
you're trying to keep us disciplined by saying we have some goals and we've said we don't want to insert things willy nilly. But if they're good,
Right,
that's fine.
And we haven't finished our goals.
And we're not done.
And we're going on a year.
Yeah.
So that's also a consideration.
Mhm.
But if they're small, if they're easy to understand, if there would be.
Yeah, we get it.
It's the age-old
get it.
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if any of that exists. I really feel like with these robust changes that we're seeing here, going online January 1st of this next year,
Yeah.
there's a lot to unpack
Mhm.
over the next couple of years.
I have to disclaim that I was incorrect. Apparently, we have finished our goals. That I guess I have many goals.
Well, no, we
haven't put it.
So I
we
apologize.
haven't finished our goals.
Yeah.
We have.
My bad.
Anyway.
Yeah.
If I may.
Yes, please go.
The one thing I wanted to note is that with the approval of Senate Bill 130, this is a bit of what I believe Mr. Seibert is alluding to. There are limitations on modifications to the building codes that can be made after one of the deadlines was October 31st. So
Mhm.
there are some exceptions to the types of changes that are subject to that, but it may be that so without knowing exactly what types of modifications the council may wish to consider, we would have to look at that in light of Senate Bill 130, and there may be some limitations on what could be submitted to council for approval during that code cycle freeze on updates. I don't know if there's anything else you would add.
It's a good characterization. The 130 is an important piece.
Mm-hmm.
So there would have to be a conversation between you and potentially the city attorney to decide if it was eligible and should be brought forward for consideration.
If
Correct.
possible,
Okay.
if there were something that did emerge that in your judgment would be easy and you know that it's aligned with what we have expressed here and doable, we would be happy to hear it. But that doesn't mean spend more than a few moments on it. It seems
Sure,
to
it
be.
could start as a concept review and
Okay.
then see where it goes from there.
Is that reasonable enough, Mr. Whitman?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I just thought that because the statement was kind of
Mm-hmm.
was made but not explored, that a simple exploration of whether there are simple amendments we can make that promote those values.
Sounds like this council is interested in the low-hanging fruit, but obviously anything beyond that is.
With that understanding, I will second that.
Okay.
Any more comments? Great.
I'd like to ask staff if you'd like the motion read back or if there's any modification.
I think that'd be helpful, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
We have a
you.
motion by Councilmember Whitman with a second by Mayor Gilman to adopt the ordinance as recommended and direct staff to report back in time frame, which would be first or second quarter of 2026 with a concept review with opportunities to assess minor modifications of climate, geology, and topography as a menu of potential options for ordinance modification.
I would just insert the word moderate somewhere in there. We're not asking for a complete redo, but
Minor.
yeah.
And then lastly, with the note of mindful of SB 130.
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Is that good enough?
Consistent,
Okay.
yes.
Roll call. Councilmember Roll.
Yes.
Councilmember Meg.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lang.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We're going to switch, we're going to switch 15 and 14. So we're on 15, ratification of the Arts Commission recommendations. Staff, please.
Actually, thank you, Mayor. We're gonna have Chair Smitty come
All right.
up, if he doesn't mind. Wherever you like. Would you like to sit at the dais? Please do.
Thanks. Yep.
Yes, there will.
I do have
And
some.
We're going to ask the Arts Commission Chair to present this item to you. It's
Wonderful.
Recommendations from the Arts Commission.
Thank you.
Before the public comments?
Yes, if you make your presentation, we'll ask you questions and then we'll go to the public
Yes, thank you.
comments.
In your packets, you'll have 3 attachments, a administrative report and a blue chart that shows the actual grant recommendations. And then the third one is a rubric that was used in our selection process. We I think this year we wanted to be particularly respectful of this additional responsibility you gave to the commission to recommend $100,000 in grants to go out into the community. And so we made sure that we agendized and had public meetings on every part of the process, including the selection at our November meeting. We approved the ad hoc committee at our October meeting, and then voted on our grant recommendations as you see them here. I did notice that the attachment online was dead for the actual grant awards.
It was repaired.
Pardon me?
It was repaired.
It was repaired.
Mhm.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I needed to read them down.
We've got it.
Okay, good. The ad hoc, thank you. I do want to just give a nod out to the ad hoc committee by name. That was Michael Addison. Under Commissioner Wright, well, our commissioners, Christine Steiner, David Leeds, Pamela Brown, Karina Wright. Commissioner Wright oversaw the ad hoc committee's recommendation. That was Michael Addison, Elizabeth Herring, Louise Sandhouse, and Carolyn Wagner, and we thank them for their service. And what our ad hoc committee did is taking our rubric, tried to make this as objective as possible to bring it to the full commission. And so their scores that you'll see on the blue chart are in the column where it has the after requested amount by each of the organization, it has the ad hoc committee's recommendation in the next column, and then the actual awards that we gave are in the final column, if I'm reading that correctly. Okay, good. We did get a record number. It was well advertised, record number of applications and record number of dollar amounts for that. I was very pleased when the ad hoc committee came back with their scores that it was what do you do when you get a raise with the money in the community? Do you give more to some or to more people and everything? So I was pleased that the way it had worked out from them was that we doubled the amount of recipients that we gave to, and we also doubled the top awards amount from about $3,000 prior to about $6,000. So we can make more of an impact where we thought organizations were doing a great job. It was also spread evenly throughout. Oh, and so we doubled the amounts and we doubled the amount of recipients, as I said that. It was always spread nicely among all the arts as well throughout our creative economy too. So that being said, I'll just just in general the scores that came in, we kind of gave everybody above a 70 received something, with few exceptions. This is of the applicants that met all the initial requirements that we use best practices and 501c3 checking and that sort of thing as well too. So the grants amounts that you see are in that final column, and the chart is based on score. So the top was 96%, and the bottom award was over 70. So like the C's and the B's and the A's all got kind of chunks that way.
Understood.
So this is a recommendation. I don't know if there needs to be a reading of it or.
Now we see it.
But that was the kind of process that we did, and thank you again for making this move along.
It is really clear that I remember the conversation is, do you give more to a few or do you spread it out more? And you did some version of both, which is very interesting to me. Any questions for the chair?
What is it? I think what enabled us to do that was beautiful. Our top applicants had great scores. They're much better than they had in the past. So we're teaching the community to do what's important as well. It's not just fill out a great application. You have to really be doing the right things to make the kind of impact in our economy that's not just artistic merit, but feasibility, impact, sustainability, diversity, that sort of thing as well.
And just to say also, when we see the applicant list here, these are all, we see them in town. We know these people. They're part of the fabric of the community. It's very clear that this is, as you said, it's the revenue from the city going back into the community. It's money well spent, in my opinion. Yes.
Yes. Well, I just want to acknowledge that this rubric is really well thought out, and I think that it's clear anyone who's receiving an award would know that this is why they're receiving it, and it adds transparency to the process, and it also adds more process to the process, and so I really love the way that you all did that this year.
Ditto that.
If I may, I'll point out that the Arts Commission did take the recommendations and did make adjustments to them based on some other factors that I think
we see that.
That's why you have a commission.
Yeah, we see, but not a lot, but some adjustments here and there. Yep. I'll go. Go ahead, please.
I just wanted to say, in speaking with you and also looking at these documents, it was a great process. I think it really it served the goals. It was your strategy that you spoke to. And I think it was really well done, so thank you very much. And it was my great pleasure to see almost all of the presentations at the Art Commission. So that was the first time I had done that. It was really fun.
Well, let me ask the audience to pause just because it makes it hard to hear up here, if I could. Thank you.
And thank you for your input over the years and to making the process. Special
Wonderful.
thank you to Manager Harvey. He's the one that kind of pushed Commissioner Wright, who really spearheaded all this in the direction of having a very clear rubric to show transparency. And
wonderful.
Kudos to Ms. Mara, right, Chair?
Yeah.
Ms. Bridget
Oh,
Mara?
yes, right.
Right.
Very good. Wonderful. Let me go to the public comments. Let me bring up Kim Maxwell, then Clay Creasy, and then Chaya Newman, please.
Mayor, Council, Smitty, thank you so much. That's what I'm here to say. I'm here to say thank you so much. My name is Kim Maxwell, and I am a co-founder, a board member, and the director of the Youth Workshop for the Ojai Playwrights Conference. We are going into almost our 30th year now, with a play on Broadway last year called John Proctor's The Villain, and a new play going on Broadway this year called Dog Day Afternoon by Stephen Adley Urgis. I've been kicking around town for about 35 years, OPC about 30 years. It was founded at my dining room table with my daughter, who was 2 at the time and is now the co-director of the program, on the reading committee, and an official dramaturg who is working for different organizations now as a direct result. The real reason I'm here is because in 2012, Ryan Biegler, who is our resident drag queen, if you don't know, you should, threw his hand up in the air at our lunchtime interview when we have playwrights come in. And on that particular day, it was Terrence McNally, who is a multiple Pulitzer, Tony Award-winning, Emmy Award-winning genius person, and a delightful human. And he hung out with the kids, as they all do, and did a big Q&A. And as he was walking out the door, Ryan threw his hand in the air and he goes, "What is your last piece of advice for like a young artist coming up in the world?" And he just said, "Always work with people better than you." That's why I'm here. That's why I come to Ojai every year. And so, because he came even in years when he wasn't workshopping a play. We unfortunately lost him at the beginning of the pandemic, but his presence is still quite the thing. This is why I do what I do. It is the opportunity of a lifetime for myself as an educator and as an artist. It's the opportunity of a lifetime to be able to immerse my students in world-class artists. It changes their lives. Not all of them go out to be actors or writers or directors or dramaturgs, but they become civically active. They go to college. They become tree trimmers and baristas and business owners, and they have a voice, a cultivated voice, and permission to use it on a really powerful level. Most of you know that the arts and the humanities have had a little rough the last few years. Recently the NEA and the NEH were dismantled, which affected California Arts Council and also the Cal Humanities. And I see all my art humanities nerds over here. Hello, I love you guys. But we need your back more than ever. So as much as I want to say thank you for that $100,000 and every person who was awarded, I haven't seen the list yet, please, we need more. And it's a hard thing to ask in this year, but thank you. And you are loved. 8 seconds.
Thank you. Clay, I know it is very exciting and heartwarming. Clay Creasy, please, Chaya Newman, and then Susan Amend. Thank you.
Council, I
Yes.
just want to express my appreciation for your support for the arts. I think it's an enlightened vision that that Ojai shares, especially. Some of my former business capitalist friends aren't 100% clear on how well the arts coalesce with a local community, both economically as well as spiritually in a community spirit. I do have one capitalist friend, very hardcore capitalist friend, though, who does appreciate the benefit of the arts. And if you want to see him this weekend or next, you can. His name is Oliver Warbucks. He'll be appearing at the Ojai Arts Center. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chaya Newman, please. Susan, it's something amend, and then it looks like something Jane, possibly. Okay, Chaya, please.
Good evening, Council. My name is Chaya Newman. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am a faculty member, and I'm here in behalf of the Ojai Youth Entertainer Studio, also known as OYES. I grew up as a student in OYES, and I trained there for 8 or even more years before I left Ojai and went to study at PCPA, or more specifically, the Pacific Conservatory Theater Professional Actors Training Program. And through that program, I learned so much and got to use what I've learned here and just grow that even more. And after graduating there in 2024, I have moved back, and I am now a teacher director back at OYES, teaching the next generation of young artists. Increased funding for the arts really does have human impact, which is something so incredible that I get to see, because students that stand exactly where I stood have opportunities to perform, find general confidence as human beings as they're growing up, which is such an awkward time. And they get to be positive and creative, and it's that outlet that's really needed. And this support helps us expand access to more and more children, getting to offer scholarships and keep high quality youth theater alive here in the Ojai Valley. So I respectfully ask that you approve the Arts Commission grant recommendations, because investing in the arts invests in young people. And if there is any proof showing that that investment can grow into, it is standing right here in front of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Susan, amend, please. And then I can't read this card, but it looks like possibly Jane, something like, and it's Chilkis, possibly. And then Diane Kelly. Oh, thank you.
Susan Stinsmulen Amond.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mayor and council members, I'm pleased to be here. I'm to also thank you for what you've done. Committee, the commission, working so hard to bring more money for the arts in our town. It's just, I think about this with a little perspective in that I was on the Arts Commission and served as chair of public art stuff for 14 years. And I was looking at my notes, and I don't have that much on the computer, really. It's kind of sad. But anyway, in 2011, we got $7,000 to distribute for arts grants, and that seems so little. I mean, and I'm so proud of the advancement and the recognition for the arts in Ojai, and that it has continued to, there's several, legacy, I don't know if that's the right term, but the music festival and the Ojai Studio Artists and the theater, the Theater 150 used to be, pardon? Yeah, the Playwrights Conference. But anyway, there's plenty of new organizations that I saw on the list that I don't know. And to support organizations that have been around for a long time is super important, because they keep advancing and promoting new options for the community. I'm also with the Ojai Studio Artists, and I'm the chair of the scholarship committee. And each year we give, so far only 10,000, but 10,000 to artist students at Nordhoff High School, juniors and seniors, and they go through a rigorous process that introduces them to the whole, what is it like to be an artist, and how do I get recognized, and how do I get in the gallery? And so that's vital. So that's a trickle down from our organization, as well as opening 70 studios for arts education for whomever comes to Ojai to walk into a studio and find out about art, all kinds of art, and what a studio looks like. And students come for free, and I don't know, it just makes me very happy that this is happening, and I want to thank you so much. There's a great need, and your support is only going to bring what you're calling it the arts economy. I love that term. And bravo to all of you for making this happen. It's truly meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a hard act to follow. I've got notes and everything here. I'm Gail Childress.
Thank you.
I was one of the original members when Ojai did not have an arts committee. We had an arts commission. We had an arts committee, and there was no budget at all attached to that. And I had been on the arts commission, I believe it was 13, 14 years, and it was a big deal to even get $500 for a budget. And while that time we had instituted the percent for the arts for the city, we had the arts gallery in the chamber, and other things that I'm really proud that the Arts Commission has done. And I want you to not forget that the arts, well, Ojai is known for the mystique of arts. And I really need for each one of you to hear the arts in Ojai are a hidden resource. So the money you give to the arts organizations are going to come back to the city coffers by the hotel taxes, the gasoline, the business tax. So it's an investment in the arts. Thank you for supporting the arts. These are all short little things that I wanted to share. The arts have been taken out of the schools, so it's dependent on the nonprofit organizations and the volunteers to bring arts to our elementary and high schools. I'm part of the Ojai Studio Artists, and I'm proud that we gave $10,000 as grants as a fundraiser. So we're giving back to the community. And I was asked one time, why are the arts important? And I couldn't answer that. I was in New York City, and I saw the answer on a billboard above the New York Museum of Art. And the first one, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the first one, but there was 4. It's to teach problem solving out of the box. It leads to developing creativity, which leads to inventions, which leads to freedom. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. You followed up just fine. Yeah. Diane Kelly, please.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Diane Kelly. I'm the secretary of the Ojai Community Chorus. We just had a fabulous concert on Saturday and Sunday, the biggest we've ever had. And we are composed mostly of seniors who have no place to sing, except maybe church choirs and whatnot. And we have a fabulous director. And we've been in the Valley for 40 years, almost 40 years. We have a modest budget of $35,000, and so your award is very, very helpful because most of our budget is filled by participation, membership, ticket sales, donations, and then we also do a fundraiser with our boutique where we bake goodies and stuff like that. So, and our audience is mostly seniors as well. So, I mean, I love all that has been contributed to the young people. That's so important. But I also really appreciate being, recognized our seniors, because we're a vital part of this community, and we love to sing, and we love to sing for the older people too. So, and we're getting more young people as well, and everybody's welcome. If you want to sing, come on. Welcome you. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Smitty.
Thanks. Anything online?
No, Mayor, no raised hands.
Wonderful. Any questions for our chair? Wonderful work. I'm very pleased, very excited.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, wonderful play then.
And I just want to thank the people who came to speak and to share your love of the arts. It encourages us all to love the arts even more than we do, just to hear the beauty that you have brought forward. So thank you very much.
Yep.
And I did see the concert, and it was wonderful. It was really, really wonderful.
Great.
Quick comment. I was the liaison of the Arts Commission last year when you guys were working on how to jury, how to set your criteria. Was extremely impressed with how thorough a job, how you were, your whole commission wanted to be really fair about how you awarded your grants. So I really appreciate that effort. I have family members who will, I assume, receive grants out of tonight's adoption. So I'm gonna abstain for that reason, but I don't know if I would if I thought there was a chance you guys weren't gonna get approved. But I'm assuming you're getting approved.
I think all's well.
I'll put a motion on the table.
Please do.
To approve the recommendation of the Arts Commission.
Second that.
Roll call. Councilmember Rule.
Yes.
Mayor Gilman.
Yes.
Councilmember Mang.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Abstain.
Mayor Pro Tem Ling.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yay. Well done.
I'll be back.
Good.
I look forward to it.
All right. Our last item is number 14, furnished by owner and installed by owner items, Ojai Permanent Supportive Housing Project.
Yes, Mayor, and I'm going to go support the arts, but I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Seibert, and you are in his very capable hands.
Understood.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Good evening, council members. My name is Lucas Seibert, for the record, the Community Development Director for the City of Ojai. The item you have before you tonight is a discussion item regarding two pieces. One is the furnished by owner and installed by owner items, which is listed as attachment A. And the second item for discussion tonight is a policy for commemorative naming and donations. And the reason... Sorry.
I know it's exciting when people split.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a discussion tonight. I know in the recommendations it's looking for a review and adoption, but really it's a discussion piece. If there's questions, comments, concerns regarding the policy piece, which is attachment B, certainly we can hash that out and then bring you back any revisions or additional information as it relates to it. So the reason why this is brought before City Council is during the September meeting of this year, City Council discussed the furnished by owner, installed by owner types of items that then evolved into what we're seeing tonight in terms of a list of items, because they were being discussed during that meeting, and it was basically clear that it was like, can we at least get kind of a rundown of what those items potentially are going to be moving forward. So that's what you're seeing as attachment A. And then in that discussion is also kind of a naming and donations piece tied to this project as well, but more the way in which this policy is being written is kind of in a broader sense as well. So it kind of opens it up for the discussion beyond just what we're talking about for the permanent supportive housing project. So that's really kind of the gist of the conversation for tonight. I open that up for the council to ask questions of staff, and I do believe
We have Dignity Moves here as well.
Yeah, so it's Dylan and Maureen are here as well,
Mhm.
and they may want to say a couple of words regarding.
Is there anything you would like to
as
say,
well.
or would you just like to be available for questions? Okay.
Available for questions.
Yep. I will start with one. This is page 158, where we see the itemized list. And when I see 2.0 items that could potentially be added to the, how do you say that acronym? FOIO donor?
FOIO, yeah.
Okay, fine. That are currently specified to be provided by the GC general contractor. I'm assuming that's what that means. So how is it that they could potentially be added to the donor list that are currently specified by the contractor?
So are we talking about 1.0, 2.0?
I'm saying 2.0.
2.0.
And I see like pantry freezer, pantry refrigerator. If I'm reading the 2.0 heading correctly, they're currently specified to be provided by the GC, but they're on the list and they might end up going on the donor list.
I'll start with the response, but I'd probably ask for
Okay.
maybe Maureen or probably Maureen to speak to that, because I know she's uplifted these projects in other communities and has seen this. It does tend to evolve. This 1.0 list is really kind of the boilerplate for which you tend to see from a donation standpoint. 2.0 is what they have seen, and gathering the information that we have so far, given the scope of the work that we're seeing here. These items were then listed as 2.0, and the 3.0, if I could, are really kind of those bigger pieces from a financial standpoint. Those are all just, there is no item aside from the green that comes with that.
Understood.
So.
Right. So
Thank you.
So typically on our projects, we allow for what we call FF&E, which is fixtures, furnishings, and equipment, to be to have the direct participation from the community. So we have a sort of a program, if you will, or a system whereby we encourage community organizations, the Rotary Club, faith-based organizations, the Garden Club. I mean, anybody. It really depends, so that they have the opportunity to participate. And if those items can be from very, very small, curtains, bed sheets, towels, up to trying to identify maybe some larger components. So the category number 2, to answer that question, those are some items that are currently showing in our documentation and are part of the contract for construction, but we have seen examples where some of those things are also pulled out and identified as being appropriate subjects for participation or for sponsorship. So we're always looking at this point in the project for how we can reasonably carve off aspects of the project to allow people to participate. And you all wisely asked us to be more clear about it, I think, in the last time we came in. So we were very happy to just put some thought to it and to help you by really trying to be as specific as we could. So we really tried to.
If I might give you a follow-up question, which would be, if I understand correctly, this is the very normal way that your projects go. In
Yes,
other
it
words,
is.
this kind of volunteering is a normal par for the course.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Our general contractor doesn't buy bed sheets or night lights.
Yeah, understood. Please.
Okay.
But generally, he or she does buy a pantry freezer. I mean,
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so.
Washers, dryers.
Right. I'm assuming that it's the 2.0 from A to
Yeah,
G, because that is in the budget.
That
correct?
is in our budget. That shows in our drawings. So right now, our contractor would be purchasing those items.
Okay, and the bid would reflect that. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any sense of like what that amount is, just roughly?
Well, it can really vary. I mean, it depends on the quality. I mean, at this point, it's also very much, or generally, tends to be something that the operator has an opinion about or has a preference for. So, in our situation here in Ojai, we haven't identified our operator as of yet.
Right.
But once we do, the IT is a big one. All of the security, Wi-Fi, that tends to be something that an operator has an opinion about. And so we are reserving the right to, we have our contractor providing conduit, but not wiring, and not this, you know, the specific kind of the guts of a security system or an IT system, because that has to be subject. We have to allow the operator to have input. Otherwise, we'd just be changing it.
Right, and just a quick follow-up. When you say operator, you're meaning?
Whether it's, you know, whoever turns out to be the operator of the village.
So when the city manager suggests that we might be hiring an operator, or we might be operating.
Right, it may be help of Ojai, we, you know, it may be, whoever that turns out to be, it's still a question mark.
That's right.
Okay.
When you were asking for costs, though, you were saying, if I heard you right, the items under 2.0, which I guess we will see when next year when we see something that has more clarity, we'll see, oh yeah, those refrigerators or something like X, Y,
Right,
and Z,
and
or
then
at least
of
the
course
range.
the obvious question is: suppose these are donated, does that money just roll back in? You know, but of course. But my larger question is actually on 3.0. What are the costs associated with that? Which those are, you know, I mean, we can go to this, you know, to the sanitary department, we can go to Casitas Water and look for donations, or but these can be potentially high ticket items.
They can, but they can also potentially be negotiated. You know, you know, it really does depend. And solar is another one. You know, solar, we're solar ready. Our building is solar ready, but we're not actually including in the contract for construction the panels themselves. I mean, again, I think you all know there are umpteen different providers that we will be looking to, you know, negotiate with and figure out what's the best deal for our project. So we can't, you know, we don't want to get locked into anything prematurely.
You said that before, yeah.
Yeah. So it's that.
And just to confirm, for 3.0, these costs will also be in the budget?
Sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, I'm sorry, the sanitary, the capacity and connection fees for the utilities, basically.
Those are all in the budget, yes.
Okay.
Those
all
are
right.
already in the budget.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good clarification.
Yeah,
Thanks for
good
that.
question. Shall I sit back down, or you want me to wait up?
Any other questions before?
No,
Please,
I
go ahead.
have a question. So, is there a plan for promoting, securing, soliciting the donations, and how does that work?
I think that's really up to Ojai and potentially your operator if you bring in a partner. We see typically that it's very much a kind of a co-production, but often the agency or the entity, the nonprofit that will
Just closer to the
that
microphone.
will be running. Sorry.
You can move the microphone up too if you want.
It's typically we see that the operator has a great deal to do with that, because they're leveraging their relationships, their fundraising, you know, their development group. But we help to, you know, it depends on the project. If we're asked to help, we try to help to the best of our ability. But normally it would be our operator that would kind of lead that campaign.
Okay, so I can go to public comments. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have Sharmila Mali, David Schermerhorn, and then Clay Creasy. Sharmila? David? We took too long. Mr. Creasy?
Last shall be first. I have a number of comments on this. Starting off, I'm very respectful of this project. I think housing the homeless is a noble objective that we need to focus on. I'm deeply troubled by the process so far, as most of you probably know. And the question with regard to tonight's agenda item is, why on earth are we even looking at a donation list, both in terms of timing, it's vastly premature, as well as need. And let me explain some of that. Our grant was awarded in April of 2024, at the same time as 19 other cities received grants for the exact same stuff. We wound up saying that we were going to build 30 units at a cost of $12.7 million, or $422,000 per unit. The other 19 cities are producing 2,206 units with their $179 million, or $81,000 per unit. So our units are almost 5 times as expensive as everybody else. We're triple the cost of the next highest city. Where on earth is that money going? Actually, the answer to that question is not that tough. It's going to a project that is void of the discipline of competition. Dignity Moves helped write the grant application. They were handed the DMA on a silver platter without bidding. The former city attorney asserted that bidding was not required because they were deemed to be a sole provider, quote unquote. But in fact, your municipal code section 8 only allows sole provider exceptions in the case of commodities, not services. And even if you thought they were sole, it would have been very easy to bid it out to other entities, because I gave you a list of other entities well before that contract was let, and you totally ignored doing that. Why is that? I think it's because Dignity Moves is on a very assertive campaign to make sure they get this project. Since they got the project, they have violated the rules associated with bidding. As we all know, Construction Industry Force Account Council has now twice called them on the carpet for that. They have dumbed down the project to the point that their bid package now solicits the option of no storage at all. They've gone away from the storage building. They've gone away from the storage container. Now they're saying, how about just wood chips where the storage thing used to be? I don't have enough time to go through all my other comments, but believe you me, the lack of competition is killing this project financially. You will die, trying to fit this thing into the budget, and I'm just sorry to say it doesn't have to be that way, and you should change.
Thank you, Mr. Creasy. Anything online?
No, Mayor, no raised hands.
Okay. So what you're asking for tonight is just for us, because the answer is we asked for this list.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, the why now, and it was that this, and rightfully so, there's nothing wrong with asking for something this early on. And it's not a cart before the horse piece. It's it's a discussion piece.
Yeah.
It's a public process here. If we weren't doing it this early, I would almost assume that the opposite would be true by bringing it in and saying, this is way too late. Bringing it early is not a bad thing. I promise you that. And especially in this case where we're trying to sort through this. And not only that, but it puts it out for the community to say, hey, we're open for discussion. Who's interested in being a part of this?
We see similar organizations do very similar things, such as Mesa, or projects, I should say. So what is there to decide tonight?
Well, there's no decisions.
Okay.
I know it identifies that as point 2, review and adopt the policy, but I think what it is to receive the FOIO items. You've asked some clarifying questions, right? And I think the second piece is the policy. You've had a chance to sit with it. Maybe you need to sit with it some more. There's an opportunity to provide some comments.
The donation policy.
Correct.
Okay.
The donation policy.
Is it the naming?
And the naming piece. Yes, it's both of those covered
Thank
here.
you. Okay, now that's good.
And this is a policy. It's not specific to this particular project. From what I understand, we don't have a policy like this existing.
That is correct. For the record, Bethany Burgess with the city attorney. Currently today, the city does not have a naming policy or a policy that governs donations of funds and other resources to the city for various projects. And so, this is intended to be a jumping off point. And I believe, as I may have shared with some of you, this policy might look different with, after some time, after we look at it and think about it. So, I think tonight we would love to hear your feedback and if we need to bring back revisions to that, or there are different ways to do a policy like this, and we definitely want your feedback, knowing that this will be an important part, not only of this project, but it could be of any project, or just even, other public contributions to city facilities or other city assets.
I see that. I was going to say on page 164, I thought there were some interesting, useful items like numbers 3 and 4. At the city manager's discretion, significant gifts may be submitted to the city council for approval, but for donations or gifts of real property and donations of restricted funds or other items shall be submitted to the city council for approval. That seemed critical. That came up a little bit in our written comments as a question. And I thought the other, which I'm assuming this is, it didn't spell this out very specifically, but I'm assuming it's the case. If we look at most of the donations in Ojai, where you see a list of names, they're subtle, right? They're not so forward. But you see that at the hospital, at the pergola, it's all over the place. So I'm assuming you could call that naming, but it's very subdued. And that's what I think, that's what I'm seeing in the intention here.
The intention is to cover both. I mean,
Mhm.
I think as a public entity, there may be times where, and you see this in certain places where you have, you know, a water treatment. I know that wouldn't be Ojai, but a water treatment plant named after a significant, you know, former representative of a water district or a water utility. So I think you could have, I mean, it could be a facility that's actually named after someone, everything from that down to commemorative plaques and other commemorative markers for smaller contributions. So I think, you know, it's a little hard to scale it without knowing exactly which projects we might want to bring forward. But I think, again, that's why we're here for some discussion, and we can further refine that.
Yes, thank you. Please.
So I have a question. So I think what might be confusing the matter is that we're putting both of these items together at the same time, whereas the policy in and of itself, separate from Dignity Moves, I think is really important to establish that protocol and that the baseline of for our consideration. But the Dignity Moves is still, to one of the public comments, to the point that one of the public comments emailed said a little premature. For example, with this project, with the Dignity Moves project, if we do bring on an operator that is a nonprofit organization, and they have their own donations and they are accepting contributions, then their recognition might be different from our recognition. And so I think I would like to see these two things separated, where we come back and talk about Dignity Moves and talk about how we're going to team up with an operator and bring this up in consideration of that, and then have the policy conversation in a separate one, because this could have so many different implications with the pool and with several other things that we're considering right now.
I agree.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the combining of them blurred the issues just a little bit. It seemed that it was a result of sort of the Dignity Moves, and it's timely. But yes, I wanted also to bring up the community pool. And naming of a community pool with a big donation. So,
Sure.
Then my question becomes: I'm assuming that this is very generalized. In other words, it's meant to be expansive, and it's pretty much, I won't say a boilerplate, but it's what you have in place as a policy for best practices or whatever you would call it.
That is certainly the intent. I do think that, there's some general reference in there to, establishing a formal, I'm going to say like program or like, if you have a specific, fundraising campaign or project that you're trying to seek funding for, that, the intent that the contributions that might be sought and the funding levels would be established before the beginning of that project or before you begin seeking funding, so that people who participate know what they're signing up for and what the recognition might be, if that's important to them. I think, we could probably make that a little bit more of a directive that that's something that will be done, and adding a little more oomph, if you will, to that. That's a technical term. But we could, I think that would be something that, would still be appropriate for a policy. So you're maybe kicking the can on some of the details before a major capital program would be initiated. But, so again, that's the kind of input, though, I think we're
Yeah.
looking for tonight, if those are things you'd like us to expand upon.
Yeah.
If I could add, I actually really like this policy. I think you did a great job on it. I think you specified things that we're going to face with this project and with others. I like the fact that you included the commemorative plaques, monuments, signs, things that we're regularly doing. I also like the fact that any naming does come back to the city council for consideration. That feels important to me. And so I think this is a really great start, and I don't actually have a whole lot of tweaks I would make to it. So when I talked about separating the two items, it was like, let's celebrate this and let's bring it back because it's really good and it's a good starting point for us to work from.
Well, and again, I think I said to at least a few of you that this is the product of, one weekend. It might look different down the road. And again, if there is additional feedback, we're happy to consider that.
No, thank you. Yes, Ms. Ming.
Well, I wish she was here. We all got the email from Ms. Whitman,
that's what I was
and she's
referring
a professional fundraiser with so much knowledge and expertise. I would like to see, some way to maybe reach out to her for her input because she truly knows ins and outs, and I don't know if that would be an option to. I'm sure she'd be willing to do it with you. Talk nice.
There's many professional fundraisers in our city.
Yeah.
I guess are you suggesting some kind of public way of getting feedback?
Well, absolutely, yeah, with people that know, yeah.
So my thoughts about the naming policy are, I'm kind of 50-50 on the idea that we should have some objective standards so that people feel like they're being treated fairly under kind of a uniform system. On the other hand, it seems like all of the various different things that you could think about that would have a naming have their own considerations that, might want you to, just consider that project individually. So I think maybe that's saved to a certain degree by the idea that it would have to come back to the city council for a final decision on a naming, at least I think of, a park or a street or some physical aspect of the city. But I think we would benefit from, I'm not sure how many people recognized in reading our agenda that there were two issues, and I'd want to get as much input as we can on the naming rights issue before we actually say, yeah, let's adopt the policy.
And there's no rush, luckily, right? So we're not faced with anything that's pressing.
So are we suggesting that we bring it back and, once we agendize it as a separate item so people are clear that it's not in any way tied to any particular project, it's much more general policy. Certainly don't have any problem with that. And I would also, I liked kind of your suggestion, Ms. Burgess, that potentially we put some kind of, not disclaimer, but that there are individual situations that may be reviewed and or considered depending on the specifics around that particular project. Just sort of a disclaimer around that we could look at things individually while using this as a basis. So I think that's a good catch-all, basically.
Might I suggest too that possibly a way forward would be, this is what's happened sometimes in the past, is we've offered specific feedback to the attorney to say, oh, here's something that I thought about, and then it's something you could bring forward to us at another time.
Absolutely.
So we don't have to do that in real time right now, but I like what you're saying very much.
Absolutely.
Okay. And on the first item, thanks for separating those two. It seems to me, if I remember correctly, we have a major milestone in February with Dignity Moves, and maybe that would be a nice opportunity to then look at this list one more time and we start thinking about what's the plan
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think too, when we have the agenda item about the operator, that would be a good time too to find out from them what kind of track record they have for securing donations and raising funds. Because if we work with, just hypothetically, something like Mini Mansions, and I'm not saying that's who we're going with, but if we work with them, they, along with Dignity Moves, these people are in the business of procuring donations and getting beds and furniture and refrigerators and things like that. So I think there might be some assistance in navigating some of these items once we have that decision more solidified.
It becomes even a selection criteria as we broach that.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Okay. And so I guess then that situation kind of speaks to what I was saying earlier, that it may be that an operator comes in and has a system of their own, and they have a sort of naming convention, or however they, the hierarchy they use for their donors. So just some kind of clause that would allow us to say, okay, whomever.
But
yeah, well, we like your naming. You procured these for us. We can certainly allow the naming procedures to follow your standards.
Right, because there's going to be with this or with the pool and any interaction with the nonprofit and the city, there are going to be donors to the nonprofit and contributors, volunteers, grantors to the city. And so we want to find a way to have a policy consideration for that overlap or those collaborations.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Is that enough?
I really appreciate the
Oh,
feedback.
good. Wonderful.
I think
Yeah,
it's
great.
yes, I think this is great.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's wonderful. All right. So, any council member reports?
I do.
Yes, please go.
Okay, I have one. So as you all know, I am the vice chair of the Gold Coast Transit District, soon to be the chair, most likely in 2026.
Cool.
But if any of you bus riders, or any of you who want to save some gas money and hop on the bus, if you see a bus that's wrapped with Christmas decor, you will get the Christmas gift of a free ride. So make sure that you look for it. There are going to be, the Christmas bus is going on every route in Ventura County, and so those rides will be free, and that's all through the season. And as always, youth ride free. Anyone who's college age and younger, you can ride to Ventura or Camarillo. You can ride to Oxnard for no charge. So that's an exciting thing that's
Wonderful.
happening.
Thank you.
So
Go ahead, please.
I have a quick report.
Yeah. Go.
Tonight, I handed Chief Jenkins a challenge coin, which I didn't know what that was until a few weeks ago. But we had a guest stay with us who is the head of the Danish Mounted Police. And we've known him for quite a long time. And he scheduled with his trip to Ojai to go down and meet with the LA Mounted Police. They have a pretty substantial mounted, and it occurred to me, well, we don't have horses, but we do have police officers on bikes. And so I kind of introduced Chief Jenkins and Jesper Eriksson to each other, and they met. And what I learned about challenge coins, I'd love to have Chief Jenkins correct me if I get this wrong, but challenge coin is a symbol of the dedication to the duty of being an officer of law enforcement, or that type of a field. I guess it could be fire or whatever. And it's just a way to acknowledge comrades by exchanging coins. So he got one from the Danish police, and yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So I just thought that was a cool tradition.
That's very nice.
Hold it up to the camera.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's a cool tradition. And I thought
That's
I'd
cool.
tell the story.
I have something very short to share, which is if you are available and interested on Monday, January 19th, there will be the Martin Luther King Day in the Bowl. That is a city event now, and it'll be 10 to 1:30. I invite all of you to come, and if you would like to say something, I want you to come up to the mic. It's all kid run, so it's going to be all student, drama, music. Students all around the valley are writing essays and poetry, and you are also invited to say something if you would like.
Thank you.
Yep.
And the Christmas parade, the Oakview Holiday Parade.
That's right.
We're going to be in the trolley.
That's
so and commissioners are welcome to join us as well.
Asked to join.
Yes, asked, invited, and staff.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mayor and council, I just want to do a little council housekeeping.
Yes.
You mentioned one of your regional boards. So on the January 27th meeting, we have a couple things for housekeeping, which will be our 2026 regular meeting and recess schedule, selection of a mayor pro tem for the year, and our regional board selection.
Wonderful.
Yes, those 3 items.
Thank you. Yes. All right. With that, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Yeah.